$1 million worth the same period of time last year. So it's a good sign as far as that is concerned. Some other good news that we got was the Indian land claims that we have been at loggerheads with the state, with the tribe for several years. Finally came up with an approval of the offer and what had been agreed to in the negotiations. Franklin County and the tribe have come to an agreement. State's in agreement with it. It has to go to the state government, to the governor, and then to the Senate and Congress in Washington. If it passes there, it's signed with the president, it's a done deal. So hopefully within the next 20 years, we'll see something happen with that. The construction over there moving along nicely. They've got the interior of the building, it's been gutted. They're doing the mechanicals in there now. The plumbing, the heating, the electrical. Motorola is there installing the wiring and the equipment that they're going to need to support the 911 center. So as they say, that's moving right along. We have engaged Barton Longinus, and I think it was Barton Longinus to do the work planning for an additional family court room in the courthouse building. These two construction projects sort of go hand in hand with each other, in that the room that they will, or the rooms that they will be working on, were previously occupied in the innovation department. They're going to move across the street into the renovated emergency services building, and their new digs will be over there, and the court will take over almost all of what probation had, prior to this. So in the fall, there'll be a family court election, or a family court judge election on the ballot. We had the Hammond girls along with 3 Morristown girls on the basketball team that won their Class D championship, state championship, for the second year in a row. We honored them at our board meeting 2 weeks ago. What a nice group of kids, they really are. We passed a resolution allowing for the arming of probation officers, of those that want to be armed. At this point in time, we're not mandating anything. What we will probably do is mandate any new hires will be required to be armed. But right now, about half of the department wishes to be armed, so they will be subjected to training after a psychological exam, and once they go through that, they will be carrying their firearms, when they are working. The people that are not interested in being armed will also be required to at least take a safety course with the firearm. You never know what's going to happen when they might be all of a sudden finding that they've got a gun in their hand. It'd be nice to have them know what to do with it or not to do with it. Our county attorney is, with the board's permission, working with the city of Ogdensburg with their 207C and the issues that they had there. Button's got all kinds of experience with that, and they asked if we would be willing to allow him to assist them in working through the caseload that they have. Ogdensburg and Messina are two biggest, users of the workers' comp, in St. Lawrence County after the county itself. So they've got, quite a backlog. Once again, there is a, funding available to replace septic systems in parcels of land that are within 250 feet of priority water line. I will leave this here, with a little bit of a map. I copied it, so it's not in the color that it originally, appeared in. But, it shows you where the waterways are and, where they would be eligible for those kinds of things. What it is that, it used to be that, you had no property on the river or on a lake or on a stream or whatever. You can be 250 feet away from it now and still be, eligible for it.
Is that on a website or something, Joe, or how can they find that? I got a couple people that are doing analysis right now.
What I would do is send an email to the county planning. And they can send you a map. Let me see.
People that have asked
Okay,
for upgrades.
Here's what I got from Jason Poltenauer. Contract still needs to be signed with the board chair June 3rd, and then executed by the state. So it will be several months before these funds will start flowing. But at least in your case, if you've got a couple that are already ready to do something like that,
At our planning board meeting, if they're interested, have them contact Jason, get their name on the list.
Okay.
Is that tied to that piece of legislation for the farmers not to be able to only at certain times and so many feet from waterways, something new that I heard,
Yeah, they can only spread certain times of the year,
but it's even more,
I haven't heard anything, Frank. Nothing was brought up at our board meeting. And the last thing is the trails, are going to open up on, I believe, the 15th of the month. I dropped off, tonight a flyer on where to get your tickets, or your permits, excuse me. And, Jill has them and, more than welcome, make copies of it, pass them out and whatnot. Gives a list of locations where they're able to purchase the permits and, hopefully we'll have some nice weather and to be able to go forward. Any questions?
I believe not, I just interjected that one thing, if that's all. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
We'll move on to old business. Let me back up, was there any other public comment? If not,
I think it's from the Black Lake Association staff, and
yeah, okay, this will be a good, sure, we'll bring that up. You sent something over to us, Scott, I'm a little confused, you haven't received the check from us, have you?
Was it from Ronnie? Did you send your receipt back?
You have a copy of the voucher in your folder, Frank. It's on the other side. Yeah.
This is here, maybe we'll take a look, see.
Sure.
But it-
Wow.
so I just wanna be sure we understand it.
Yeah, you guys gave us money last year. That was
Right.
you gave it. Yeah, that's just your receipt.
All right, that's what we received, that's what we wanna be sure we do that.
Oh, appreciate it. Thank you.
On May 16th.
We're pretty sure we had, but we thought we'd make. We'd have been very clear.
Dates.
Okay, with that, we will move into old business, we all have the financial report.
I have a couple comments on that.
Surely.
The financial report shows expenditures pretty much where you would expect them to be. In keeping with your budget. The things that I find of interest are taking a note of the receipts on interest for this year. It's broken down primarily, let's say on page 1 of 2 under general fund. The interest received so far, and this is through April, is $36,000 in general fund, and then in highway. We've received 27,200, and this just reflects the change in the market for funds that you deposit in the bank. So I think this is really to the town's benefit. The other things that I want to draw to your attention are that the general fund shows over expenditures compared to budget for the highway garage replacement and building. In one spot under garage contractual, it's $542,000, and in another spot under different contractual, there's $300 and some thousand. So this comes to about $900,000 that we're over budget in those areas. And this is just all as we expected. It's not a surprise, but at this point, those are being allocated as if they were operating expenses. And that's one of the differences between, I think, municipal accounting and, let's say, private business accounting, because if it were private business accounting, these would show as capital expenditures, and you'd show an asset, a building with increasing value, so it would offset the expenditures. Nevertheless, you're all aware of the fact that the insurance reimbursements are running slower than the expenditures are. And so the actual balance that we're showing on our books in our as our general fund is a minus number, $645,000. Now, the bank account itself, because it's a consolidated bank account, doesn't show a negative number. But the point is that we're lagging behind in this particular part of the accounting record.
Which we're on it, where are we with number 4, insurance update?
That's listed here.
I know, but
Yes.
it's a good time to go
Yeah,
bring it in right now.
Well, all we've been doing is, all right, it started back from when the other gentleman. That was talking about. When the other gentleman left, or they asked him to leave. We had to start from square one. They wanted everything. They wanted everything that we had sent. We wanted all of the canceled checks. So they've got all of that. Now, we just last week, I reached out to them about where are we on this? It's in an email, and I haven't had a response with that.
In my modest experience, I do have a little, and insurance claims and fire damage. This is not troubling. The insurance companies are game to pay what they consider the hardcore upfront, which they did. So we've received some reimbursement. But the things that are not hard committed costs depend on what you do. For instance, if you do rebuilding and it's required by code to meet current construction standards, that will be reimbursed by the insurance company according to what we've been told. But they're not going to pay that until they see that you have done that work.
Right, but I think some of them wanted to wait for us on tools and stuff, which would be a no-brainer.
But that's why they wanted to
Got
see,
some,
they wanted to see the dispersed checks. they don't want to pay based on estimates of claims. They want to see.
I don't wanna pay taxpayer money either, but we are.
Yeah,
So,
well, this, I don't think is troublesome at this point. But if they ought to respond, well,
they ought to respond, exactly.
and our paid agent damned well ought to put his foot on the gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would need to put some pressure there.
I mean, the girls were great, they, I think within a day and a half, we had everything.
But all-
We already resubmitted for the second time, they had the vouchers and checks, and we like overnighted it down to them, I mean. And it's just been a stall since.
How long ago?
Probably 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago,
2 weeks.
that's why I reached out again.
So yeah, Frank reached out again.
Yeah, I was very,
Let's reach out to him and to me.
I put it very, yeah, I put it very strongly, I said, we're extremely disappointed in the punctuality and addressing this.
Yeah. Yeah, we should do that
Too.
I made a note of it. Okay. Anything else, Chris?
Yeah, that's. It's.
Okay, every month we have the daily monthly report listed on full business, and every month, it's a day or two later coming in. So I don't know if we.
It's on a normal.
Water district. Number 2, Martin and Judas, you have the floor.
Sure, one quick correction, it's still water district 1.
Yeah.
So as you recall, in the efforts over the last year or two to evaluate the existing water system, identify areas for improvement and the possible extensions have resulted in no extensions. So the project is actually boiled back down to the work just within the existing district. The new water plant, upgrades of existing mains, repair on the water tank. However, it does include extending mains within the existing district to parcels that are not currently served within the existing district. So that actually is still a part of it. With that, the project is 9.85 million. That's down from the original 16 million that was projected with the extensions. I think things still look affordable from a user cost if we are successful in securing the grant and financing again. As you know, when the scope of the project changed and did not include extensions further out into the town, the funding agency reevaluated the project and the grant and financing offer was taken back. So we are back to reapplying for those. There are 3 pots of grant money that we will pursue with EFC. The hardship grant, which was the one you were offered previously. Bill grant funding, which is the bipartisan infrastructure law, BIL. And the third is a WIA grant. Now, the WIA grant is one of the more high probability grants for projects that aren't at the highest scoring levels. To apply for that grant, you have to have had passed your bond resolution for the project. So by the June 14th deadline, we're working on getting our bond council prepared to draft that bond resolution for you to pass before June 14th.
So we will have to set up a hearing, a special hearing for that.
So the scope of the work within the existing district is pretty much everything that was within the existing district before. We just moved in the extensions from the project. So with the user base you have, the cost of that portion of the project. And hopefully with some funding success, we can bring it back in at about the same user rates that we were projecting before. Again, that hinges on being successful with funding once again. With that, you'll probably go, like last time, 6-7 months before we hear those grant results. It'll be by the end of this year, I would expect. And at that point, if you're successful in satisfying the grant and financing needs that are directed in the bond resolution, then you would be able to proceed with that project. If you complete the full financing application, which requires some more documentation from the town. And then move right into design and bidding and construction out into 2025 and 2026.
So this new seasonal water that we want to upgrade, is that gonna be buried, put into a depth that people ever wanted to?
Yes, that'll be, everything will be done to help farm code despite both area. Depth for everything and size appropriately for fire protection, for fire flows. So those areas that don't have hydrants currently will end up with hydrants and have enough flow and pressure for fire protection. Certainly a benefit for
I've had
the.
numerous people ask about, you know, they build new cottages, whatever they want the river water or village water. Yep.
And it will be hydrants.
Right.
Wow.
Will be what?
Hydrants. Yep. And we would size those lines appropriately so that if there ever are extensions further out beyond the existing district, that they would be able to carry enough flow to extend in those gardens.
I know people don't wanna hear that, especially down here in George, but it's not if, it's when it's.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna happen.
All right.
Are there any questions about where we're at with that? We'll email up.
What's the next step?
So the next step is the bond council didn't have the resolution drafted for tonight, for you to have to schedule a public hearing for the bond resolution. You will probably have to hold a special meeting.
Yes.
Between now and your June board meeting. To pass the resolution, to schedule the hearing. So, I mean, literally be a 5-minute. Session is, at that meeting, it wouldn't be the intent to hear the public. That's what the public hearing is for, but you have to have a board meeting to schedule the public, hearing. So.
We're pretty good at scheduling.
Got it down to a science.
The states can go ultraviolet.
What's that?
When you go ultraviolet,
With the disinfection?
I see Brownville is going.
That's for sewer. Yeah, they kind of, that article blended the water and sewer project. So, yeah, their wastewater treatment plant is, well, all wastewater treatment plants had disinfection mandates within the last 5 years. And so, yeah, that article blended both the water project and the sewer project together.
I was confusing.
Because that'd be,
You can use UV to improve, like if you have, well, as you do, you have surface water that you're treating. I mean, to help you reach, fine log removal, you can add UV in addition to chlorination to get that. Especially if you have issues with contact time for the first customer. However, you still have to chlorinate.
Can't get rid of chlorine.
You can't get rid of that because that's the only way for operators to determine whether or not they still have chlorine, still have disinfection at the outer limits of the system is to see if you still have chlorine residual. So as long
Once
as,
it sits in the tower, it's gonna. You're UV at a plant, it's not gonna work. Detector sits in the tower for a week.
and there's no other good, easy way other than having to take it back to your logical test at the extent of the system, but then you're sending it to the lab. Versus them being able to check right on the spot, do I have a chlorine residual? So that I know there's no bacteria. As long as there's chlorine, you know that there's not bacteria. Because the bacteria will use up the chlorine as it is disinfected, and if you see 0 chlorine left, it means the bacteria use it all up.
Thank you, appreciate you coming
No problem.
up tonight. So our next item is under old business is Rich, you have the floor to give us.
Yeah, long ride, huh?
Yeah, if you don't have anything else. we can do.
All right,
Thanks, Rich.
Thank you.
Let's see.
So at the last meeting, I presented a proposal about a PA system and
things went pretty well, but the sticking point was that we did not want to have the corded type microphone. So I've, contacted a kind of a professional outfit. And there's some details there about a wireless mic system. And the, shall we say, the vendor that I, was going to use before, when I tried calling them, it was like a company that was only open Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and I didn't think that was quite professional enough. So I talked to a musician friend, and this company called Sweetwater is I don't know if prestigious is the right word, but they're very professional. And so I got a quote from them that would basically use the same equipment, except that it would have a professional quality wireless mic, a couple of those microphones. There are, of course, cheaper ones, but sometimes they're susceptible to interference and I think we all know names like Shure and Fender. We could rely on those. So the quote that you might be able to see, and I'm sorry that I didn't do a better job of copying it for you, but anyway, I got a quote from them and I can send it to you electronically. And that way, as you just click on some of these links, you can get details about the PA system, the microphone system. And so the bottom line is about $1,340 for it. So I don't know if that's gonna fit into your budget or not, but
I think George said he wanted to buy it for it.
No, I said it's time you go to block. Not really what state. What Jesus bucks. I said it's time the town bought a PA system, so we know what's going on at the
Yeah, I
meeting.
misunderstood. I thought he said.
Yeah. I'll get you my Ethernet so you can hear it too.
yeah, so obviously I'm not like much of a speaker, but I've given you the basics there. So also, we have a Memorial Day coming up, and I don't think you'll probably be wanting to move that fast, but maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, for Memorial Day, I'll do the usual, I'll set up the PA system that we use for the museum, and that will be available, and I don't know if we have to get a program together for that Memorial Day service, but, you know, we've got a couple of weeks to get that together. And Dean and Sean, you told me that maybe I should look into buying some barricades and signs and such in light of our closing off the street and that sort of thing. So I reached out to that Sign and Safety, I think is the name of that company, and talked to them a bit, and I've talked to our museum board about getting some barricades and signs, not something cheap. I mean, they would be whatever the approval agency is, DOT or something, those kind of barricades and road signs and that sort of thing. So that's working, it's a work in progress. So I guess that's about all that I have to say.
Thank you.
Rich, may I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
If the point is for George to be able to hear us, and we've got one mic up here. Will George be able to hear Dave or Lisa?
We could get a microphone, but I don't know if I think probably this PA system would allow 4 different microphone inputs. So we could do a kind of a hybrid system where we have some corded microphones for the folks up here, and those microphones are not that expensive. But
I don't think you want to run it. I think that's one of the reasons why we're going with this, so it can be passed around.
so what we could do is we could experiment and get a couple of the cheaper type wireless microphones, and this company, the Sweetwater company, they have a pretty generous return policy. So what we could do is buy some some cheaper microphones and see if that works for the people on the side. And I mean, don't single out George, there's other people. other people.
What we want to.
That's all right, I've got big shoulders, I'll take the heat.
So we could get some microphones for, like a pair of microphones for $120 or something. I did explore cheaper microphones, Chris, wireless microphones, and talked to the Sweetwater fellow that kind of engineered the sort of stuff, and he did give me a quote with some cheaper microphones too. So if we want to, embellish it and get a couple more microphones, we could experiment with that.
Gentlemen, I was looking for the kind of a microphone that would be designed for a meeting and would pick up a couple of people at a time
Yeah.
without having to hand it around every time.
Yeah.
Something to say,
Put like out in the middle.
Yeah,
or one there and one here and so forth. Or anything of that nature sound familiar, Rich?
It's possible that, I mean, these are top quality microphones, and it's possible with a, a mic stand in the center. The looking sensitive enough, there'd be an improvement. And as I say, we can give it a try, and if that doesn't do it, we'll go to plan B or whatever. Whichever one we're up to.
That's gonna hold you. So what's the low rent one?
I would say it's probably about 1,000 or something. So I guess you guys, just want to discuss it a bit, probably.
Yeah.
And we do have, the new Zen's, PA system, we have certainly. Use that.
I have a question. Rich, this company or whoever you're talking to, could they come here and see what we got and give us some recommendations? Because this is going on and now they want, and I agree with them. Maybe a couple of mics hanging from the ceiling could catch both sides.
that's
and
what
then
CST
And put them in
recommended.
permanently, and then.
See, they
you take the
recommend
amplifier and go.
Well, this is a big company, and they're out in the middle, they're out in like Fort Wayne, and
Is there anybody locally?
Our IT people,
Sorry?
our IT people,
They should be able to put a couple
From below.
ceiling, shouldn't be no big deal.
that's what they were
Yeah.
working on when they got this set up.
We should be able to put a couple of speakers in the ceiling
well, part of the.
and, like a microphone right here with a smoke detector.
That's right here.
So part of the reason that I this PA was, it's portable. I mean, those speakers snap into the, because I think you're gonna be having meetings other places besides here in the future. So that's what I was thinking, that this isn't portable, and I mean, I got lots of background in the PA system. Setting up for a long time.
What, gentlemen, what do you want?
I think we'll see what they have to say at CSD. Like I said, we should be able to put a couple of speakers in the ceiling.
So we've asked him to do a lot of work and now.
Well, there's a
Oh,
difference.
this
His
would be
is
for-
portable.
No.
This would be installed,
Yeah.
so it wouldn't be portable.
Well, let's look at that. I assume that's what you want to do. Explore all options.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Rich, for the work.
Yes.
Okay, we move into new business. Resolution here for the remaining ARPA funds. Yeah, it's happy in there, yeah. You want me to read it?
I think I'm good with it. We gotta get action on it, we're gonna lose it.
Exactly, basically just for those that have joined us. The plan is to, phase one is the walkway around the bay. Back of the bay. And then there's an immediate purchase of a fee. We've already done that. No, is this Pittsburgh or something else?
No, that was,
That was, apparently we didn't have it in the resolution. The contractor will bring it with Peggy. That is listed here. To issue RFP and open bids on June 2024 town board meeting, the necessary rates for the retaining wall. That we're facing down at the down along like down to the yeah,
Up on Main
so the old milk plant used to be, that's what I know it as. On Main Street, where Vicky Peck is, along that wall, and then the wall down towards Alice.
The wall down toward Ellis, though, Malin had owned.
But we're not sure.
Up
really.
on the top.
We're positive because we did that back when we were a village. That was the whole
I
discussion.
thought we did we have.
Up on the top or down below?
We're talking about the street, right up
Up
on
on
the
the
street.
top.
No, the wall itself.
down around the bottom is Malin's. This is the wall up on top of this.
Yeah, that's
We
Malin's.
had a survey that doesn't.
Because back
Did you have a survey?
back when Judy happened to be filling in for Sandy one night. And Malin came in and wanted us to repair it, and Judy made the comment that Malin had owned it, and that was the end of the discussion. Malin owns that. I think you better check into it, because at one time, Malin owned that wall, that area.
Because he put that house there.
Yeah.
He put that house there. I remember putting the entrance there, which was all Mills.
And that would be all fine,
We had it surveyed and it doesn't show that, it shows like it's, this thing is prior to the wall.
It was not, because he wanted us to do it, that was a whole controversy back.
where did, where would you find that information?
Probably in our old record.
Because the,
Well, I mean, yeah, that meeting, but I'm saying that.
No, in the old record, I think,
who was the superintendent? No, the next lot was sold to,
Oh, that one, I don't know.
because Judy had a comment, and she had
Leslie Marshall.
yes.
She bought that.
Yeah, Gordy did the work for Malin back when that wall was fixed one time, that was.
Well, that, my understanding was that was the wall on the bottom.
Right out the whole curve.
Right, that on the bottom, we're talking.
Where the
up on top,
sidewalk is.
Where the sidewalk is.
Where the white
Oh, right
picket
where the
fence is.
sidewalk is?
Yes, the sidewalk.
I thought it was the whole wall.
No, we're talking up on Main Street where the sidewalks tipping and,
Yeah, we're not doing the bottom.
no, the bottom, yeah.
Right.
No,
We understand that. It's our understanding that we were responsible for the one on Main.
that's holding.
Okay, let's check, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
Still gotta be close
Yeah.
right there.
But that's.
It's surveyed, I mean, the state shows her like it, I mean, how are we gonna divide the wall, right? I mean, but it's following it, you know, it's our sidewalks and probably fall into her property, I don't know, you know. One of those questions, but,
Well, before you, like I told you, before you do anything, you better go check it with her.
and that's why I said like, you know, she wanted to put her out the bid, but then after I went and looked at the project, I'm like. You gotta get some property, you know, people on the property, you know, you have to be on her property and see what she wants to do, so. So that's why I said, that's why I had Joe put the discussion of retaining.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but we need the resolution that these would be areas that we.
We can't bid on something you don't know if we're gonna be able to go on the property. The other one we can,
Yes,
yes.
so. The other thing, and since this time. With the idea, and I'll throw this out here, with our problem with lack of parking on Main Street. I had that one idea of maybe we have angled parking with no sidewalk along in front of Vicky Peck's, so is that the better place for that money to go to take care of that?
I don't think anybody uses that sidewalk.
No,
No.
We just cleaned it. last year, the year before, and trees were growing over it.
What,
It is in the sidewalk.
what is your thought on that? I
Can we
mean,
get angle parking in there, or we open that stuff?
Yeah, we measured it, I mean, it's no different than like what Watertown, that's crazy, but I mean, it is tight, but it is, you can get parking in there.
it would take it right to it, so there would be no sidewalk.
You'd have to do like.
So is that the better place to spend that other ARPA money?
Well, I don't mind addressing another wall, if you are.
Well, that's probably the worst spot, the only wall is worse than behind Peck's place, I mean, water's running out behind your place, which I get is nervous, but that wall is still standing, and it's fairly well, we looked at it.
I understand that, but I'm throwing this out, even though one may be more concerning.
Well,
I'm not concerned about parking, I'm concerned about the road falling down. Yeah.
And the water line, right? And the water line.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I think that if we approve this motion the way it stands, that makes sense, given the knowledge we have now, and if the information changes and we ought to change it, we'll
Just make
change
amendment.
the resolution.
Mm-hmm.
We'll amend it.
I thought the day that she was over there, she talked about A and B of those two walls,
You do.
you know.
What do we have,
And it's,
motion on this?
look, it talks in general too, it says upgrades of retaining walls on
Yeah.
Main Street, so it doesn't, it's not specific.
It's not restricting
Right,
what we're.
Where do you wanna go?
yeah, so we should be able, all right, with that, the resolution is here, we probably need a motion.
I'd be pleased to make a motion that we approve this resolution.
No, sorry.
David,
Alright,
Gary, Sean, Chris,
Aye.
Frank,
I And then we're on with this agreement for.
If you are contact for.
yeah, I need to.
Someone.
Agreement with consulting service, which
Go working on.
Okay.
We're pretty much gonna do this one too, right? Yeah. I'll make this motion for consulting.
No, sorry.
will call.
David, Gary.
Aye.
Sean.
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Frank,
So then we look at 3 and it's discussion about retaining wall, and I think we've already taken care of that.
I'll get Tina a number. Her,
Cause that's why I had discussed with her, then we kind of went back on this, what we had to do, you know. Cause it is survey out, he had a survey, we had behind back survey, I mean. I think the way the survey showed we do on those walls, I mean, I know. I don't know how it works, cause. They were in the middle of the road too, so I don't know how the survey works. If you read those, it says they went to the middle of the road, so.
that's all right, okay.
Right, so I mean, I don't know. Either way, it needs to be fixed, and I don't know.
But does it need to be checked with the through legal channels to know?
Well, I think it's the proper thing to do to ask her and just inform her what we're looking to do. I don't think she's gonna hesitate, cause there's gonna be a big load off her shoulders.
Yeah, our water lines there.
Right, there's stuff that's there, we have to kind of protect that, and I think if you explain that to her and see what her intentions are there.
Right.
Okay. The next item is a CST proposal for creating the funds. I took it. Took it off. So anyways, back to. We have a proposal for from the CST group for the updating of the phone system, which they've been looking. That's all here for your review. And this is badly needed.
Can you or somebody review why it's needed?
I love the people that use it.
okay, so the phone system we have now is not, it's the old but reinstalled phone system that used to be at the town office. The phones that were taken out of the office to install our current ones are actually better phones for digital systems. We're trying to, I don't know how many different phone bills and internet bills and all the communication bills. There's probably, what would you say, Dean, maybe 30 or more?
At least.
That Judy processes every month. So we're trying to consolidate all of those. So CST group has a new voice, what they call. So all of our phone system lines that we have going through Spectrum will now go through CST. We will be saving at least $36 a month on just our phones. The internet is not able to be removed from Spectrum. We do have some Verizon which is one tablet and I believe the code enforcement cell phone. Those won't be able to move to CST, so we'll have those 3 bills. But in general, all the voice, it'll be an upgrade for billing plus the system. They can do all the repairs right from their office, just like they do on our computer networking right now. So the support is there. She said right now, the only thing that is she can see at least a $36 savings, but once they get into everything, they anticipate a bigger savings per month.
The history is there was
Our
so many bills, it seems every time there was something new.
things were getting double billed and
Someone else would order it up. like
Yeah.
the town clerk would order it or, yeah. So, yeah.
So it looks like you're doing 5 phones.
And not only with our current system right now, actually, we had a couple customers come in today complaining about our phone system. They were calling, but it would say, please leave a message at this time. And all the voice messages are coming into my office instead of being directed to the proper department where it normally was. Ever since they put the new floor upstairs, our phone system has gone crazy.
The other thing I would
So-
tell you is that we have, I can't remember his name, the guy that we had.
Tom Manley.
Tom Manley, and that turned out to be a nightmare. And this system that's in there, we can thank Tom Manley for.
The phones that we have from the past and never got rid of are better phones, and we do not have to repurchase any new phones. We have enough to do the project.
I just see it, what's the deal, the voice over internet phone tax, is that something we have to pay? The municipality, we don't pay taxes, do we?
We pay like a cell phone and all that stuff. There's, yeah, you still as a municipality have to pay those.
And there's 2.
It's like a surcharges.
And then
Oh, so that's not like a sales tax, taxes on 911 and all that other stuff.
and they're getting us $230 a month too, for a monthly fee. On top of
That, there's the one-time fee for installation, getting us set up, switching all of our phone lines over from Spectrum to their service. It's all the setup fees, the one time, and then our monthly fee will be with the 200 and something. Which I think is less than, well, I know it's less than what we're currently paying.
Probably if you look through.
Yeah.
What that total is.
So I think each plan is almost $46 a line,
Yeah,
each plan has a phone. But
All of it, take care of all
yes.
that's where the billing problem comes, it's just. It's a nightmare. Judy has a chart that I made for every phone line, cause they all have different numbers for the dialers.
no. Those takes care of the plants and everything.
If I understood it right.
That's my understanding.
That was my,
Sewer plant, water plant.
that's what I was understanding.
I'll just double check, make sure that.
Right, I was double checking.
Yeah.
But we can get it all, man.
Yeah,
Does it need action?
Yes, it's a proposal, I would say we do need it.
I make a motion, we go with the phone system, as long as it covers all the plant and then for it.
So the motion is made, you seconded it. Roll
Chris
call.
seconded. David,
Alright.
Gary,
Aye.
Sean.
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Frank,
Aye. The next item is the contract between the town of Morristown and Lupine Engineering to proceed with the windmill study, and we're going to turn this over to Anne Marie to discuss it, to explain it with you.
I think we have the new proposal. I hope it's not an emergency.
No, I'm.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, I can make copies of this, can't I? Okay.
It seems
Great.
like it's been an awfully long time since I originally came and talked about structural analysis of this.
Hi, Joe.
We're finally down to the wire. I think last month I told you the story that credit needs to go to Nancy LaFavor and Joanne Marcelletta for getting us in touch with Randy Stearns of Stearns and Crawford. This is the exact same proposal that we came to you last year for a $39,000 fee to do a structural analysis. And because of our contact with Randy Crawford, he has been able to work on this project. The engineering firm is there and their name is listed. And so that's one change that's in this contract. It's called Klepper, Hahn, and Hyatt Engineers. And Lupini will oversee the structural analysis. Klepper, Hahn, and Hyatt will do the engineering. And Randy Crawford will be a consultant for historical restoration if we get to that point. The cost was $39,000. It's now $20,000. $10,000 comes from your budget. $10,000 comes from the community fund. If you approve this contract, community fund will release the $10,000, and they can be notified that they can go ahead and do the structural analysis. I wanted to, I talked to Rick Johnson at great lengths today. He is very concerned about a rumor that seems to be going around town that the historical nature of this windmill will change, that the windmill part itself, the blades will be taken down, that the roof will be changed. So there's been a lot of chatter about it. None of it is real. This is for a structural analysis
Yeah.
only.
But I think, and maybe I'm at fault in saying I'm very convinced that those blades are not original to it. So if we do get historical monies, we will have to put it back to my experience.
Not necessarily, not necessarily. I mean,
No,
well,
really.
that was 30 years ago, and that's what I said to Rick. It was just like, that is also part of history. I mean, the stone mill has been used for many, many different things over the last 200
Well, I
years.
stand corrected. I assumed because they were late, they weren't original to it, that they would have to.
No, I think that would be your decision. I mean, obviously, an architect would come forward, the grants would come forward, they would make
They
recommendations.
look like.
But nothing can happen unless you approve it. But in order to put his mind at ease, I suggested that maybe what you would want to do is make a resolution to accept the contract with a caveat that it is leading to a restoration of the stone mill to include its history through 2024. He seemed real happy with that. I don't know whether you are or not, but that in fact is 30 years ago or more. And he says Rick's very concerned that it's of vital interest of the community to make sure that that part of the history is captured.
They say,
So my interest is getting the contract moving.
I was gonna come to the lift, and then go up there and check it out themselves.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the good things is, one of the next steps of this grant process is writing the consolidated grant application.
And so I asked him if he would be willing to help me, and he volunteered. So I think you might have another volunteer on your hands, but
I think probably some of that is the fact too, that Gloria was behind getting the names on the windmill.
Was she?
Back when that was her, because I know that my parents, their names were on there, and she was the one that was behind.
Cause I thought, I
When
would
you
sure.
say names on the windmill.
Yeah, and each blade,
Blade,
like,
yeah.
when that family name put on the blade, it's like.
They
Yeah,
don't
really
need
is
the
cool.
money
It is
for
cool,
that.
yeah.
Right.
And that's part of our history, so
And I
we
thought,
deserve that.
and I thought it was all the rain. No? Okay.
But if you want to amend, I would like you to just approve the contract. Though that's the price tag, those are the three organizations that are gonna be working on it to get it moving. It's up to you if you want to amend it to say leading to restoration through 2024, or to include the history through 2024. That's up to you.
Can I ask a question with this too, with the restoration? Is it just the outside that will be restored?
I think we don't know. I think it'll be all about what the study tells us needs to happen.
That's an awful lot of money.
Definitely inside too.
Yeah, they'll be inside, outside. They'll take borings
It
in
could,
both
but that's
places.
why it's not coming. It would have to be grant monies.
We've got 20,000 to work with right now.
No, she's
Yeah.
talking about the eventuality.
Oh, then we get rolling on trying to find some money.
We
You're
have
right.
to do this to be able
Oh,
to,
I realize that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I realize that.
we're not looking to take it out of the town property.
Rick was concerned that the weight
Oh,
of the blades, that someone would come forward and say that the blades have to be removed because the weight of the blades is causing some difficulty with the stonework or something.
He's raking way.
The roof may be changed. We don't know any of that yet.
Where
Nobody's
the
looked at it.
building's been changed once from original pictures to now,
Yeah,
it's a lot
yeah.
different, so, yeah,
There's one of the originals without the.
it was a lot
blade.
bigger, swung blade out.
This is just an exploration, folks.
Okay, can you,
And they said after.
I'll make a motion that we go with the best of
with
you.
the caveat?
Thank you.
Motion's made and seconded.
I'd like to really see it without any restrictions of requiring anything. I'd like the study to go forward and give us some information.
Yeah, we don't need,
Yeah.
we don't need any stipulation, right?
Okay.
Okay, Gary, or yeah, Gary.
Yep.
Dave. John.
Aye.
Chris,
Yes,
Frank.
Just because something is recommended doesn't mean that we will be doing it anyways. I'm throwing that in there.
You are in complete control. You're the decision maker.
No highway spending.
Is it normal every year, like what roads on pavement? Sorry, that's not as big as I was trying to get it.
That's a good test.
I don't know why it was printing so small, I tried to enlarge it.
My new glasses are working.
Worked out.
in my understanding, check is that much of the paving, if not all the paving in the town is done with CHIPS funds. Is that right?
Yes.
Is it turning out that we have adequate paving, that provides us with enough paving to maintain the roads in decent condition?
It's been working, yeah, with a few raises and we lost a little bit, I think we lost like $85 this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of helped still, she pulled back some raises that, but I think it worked out for us. We lost 85 from last year, so.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been working. I mean, we've been averaging 3.5 miles a year. We're coming back around, well, like this year, we're doing the Stowe Road. So that one's a 14-year-old road, we're doing Atwood, which is almost, will be 20 this fall, since we've been there last time, so. So I think we're keeping up,
How many miles do we have altogether?
52 now, with the village.
I was looking at something just recently and it said that in 1950 there were about. And recognize that this is just memory, 25 miles of paved road or 28 miles of paved road in the town. You know, what a change in 70 years.
You know, you'd really appreciated it. I don't travel Canada much, but I used to for a lot of farming and stuff. You'd be amazed how many gravel roads there still are.
Yeah, we're very fortunate,
Gravel road's a good road, but boy, it's slow.
yeah, we're fortunate, there's one of the, there's still towns out there with quite a bit of gravel roads.
Yeah.
You know, in the area, the only thing I say with gravel is you go grade it, take potholes out by grading. You can make them smooth again.
So, we need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
David,
I,
Gary.
Aye.
Sean.
Aye.
Chris,
I,
Frank,
So we'll now move into, the department reports. If none of the board members have any new business that they wish to bring forward at this time. Okay. Counselor.
okay, so I went to the conference and one of the biggest issues there this year was decals, which is the hunting license. Starting in August, we will no longer be printing them on the Velron paper with that little machine that's on the counter. Those are becoming obsolete. They'll be just printed on a normal 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. They'll be given a back tag, and then each tag will have to be cut out from that paper, and the tags have to be taken with the hunter. I don't know how you're supposed to preserve them from the weather, maybe a Ziploc baggie or something. But they told us it wasn't our responsibility once they leave our office. The sad thing is, they're not increasing the price of the license. They're not increasing our town revenue share of the license. But they're not supplying us with any supplies, so they are proposing that each town charge a printing or processing fee. And the census of the whole New York State was, why should we do that? They're taxpayers. So that was in a nutshell. I don't know if you as a board want to make any kind of decision or how you feel about it. But they're leaving it up to each town to do whatever they want to do.
Any discussion?
what are the additional costs that town?
It would be the printer, paper, and ink.
How many permits a year do we?
I average. No, I would say maybe 100 at max.
And what would we make
Now
$1?
with fishing, I'm sorry,
What would we make $1?
it depends on what it is. Some of them are 28 cents. You know, it just depends on what they get.
I'll just leave it like it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think if you go in that route, it's gonna
No.
be more for a processing fee than it is. And even though you have like hunters that are 70 or older, they have a $5 license if they want an extra tag or something, so. I don't know, we just didn't feel that it was appropriate to
I don't
charge,
think we use that much ink in that.
No.
I agree.
yeah, so.
Yeah, they get wet, they'll come back looking again, if they're wet, they'll come back looking again.
And that's what we asked, what are you gonna do? But they have to pay for a replacement tag at that point, which is a $5 fee. And they did
Either way, you
encourage,
gotta use ink, regardless
Yeah.
of what you're printing it on.
they did encourage us to put their emails in while issuing the license. That way they can get into their email and they have it.
Oh.
So if they need to print it, they can. what fishing license will not have to be, taken with you, but you have to have it accessible in case the DEC officer stops you.
So they can have it on their phones. or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I don't
So
think
that
it
was the
makes
big
sense.
thing.
Anything else, Bill?
I don't think so.
Great, thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
No, we can't get that heater in on it. No, I think I tried it.
You have the floor now. Jim.
Oh, boy.
Jill, Dean, you used to be first, I don't know.
I don't know, Bill, I guess that's what you see the agenda. Yeah.
Ladies first.
Well, at least I was. Yeah, now.
He's going down.
I'm going down. Lots going on. Start back on the water and sewer side. Water, we believe we have all the water parts. Thanks to Steve from Dank, we really started pushing, he started pushing hard. Finally got a hold of like a high up person, like, well, you guys just ordered them. He's like, yeah, a year and a half ago. So as of last Monday, we believe everything is here. We're gonna do a quick inventory. He's going on vacation May 28th. We're gonna tear the water filter apart and start rebuilding. Figure in a couple of days, we have enough to do both. I know unfortunately, I know the new water plant is coming, but I think we're still a ways away from that. We've only been running on one filter now for well over a year and a half, so we need to get them done. So that's all done. I had Seaward here today. They are going to come up in July and give us some training on rebuilding the E1 pumps here, 2-day thing. I was trying to get guys to go to Albany. Myself and Kevin have gone years past. That just does not work out for the company anymore. They don't have the people that does the training, and then they try and push in so much. So this guy was here today. I told him we'd schedule one in July. He'll come out, spend 2 days with us here in our facility, you know, with the guys. I can send all the guys down. You know, he's like, it's better at your place. If one guy has to leave for a problem, you're not out of town somewhere. So that'll work because we've just been having trouble getting our E1s rebuilt. There is a new program out now. So we have M styles, they're a U style. So if the motors and stators are bad, it's cheaper to buy a new pump. But with the new pump, you get a 5-year warranty. So, and that covers it basically the whole thing. They made some improvements for before. The pressure switches, you had to tear the whole thing apart. Now they're just like a plug and play. You can actually change them out in the field. Like the two that we just had, we could have changed them right there. It's 2 plastic clips on the bottom, a plug on top. They slide down over, you clip them on. You're good to go. Because that's where we're having trouble, is a lot of switches that's rising up to high level before it trips the alarm, before it'll trip the pump on. And he said it's a common thing, ones that aren't used a lot, it's just, they get corroded up in there. Crusty from the stuff. So he's actually gonna take 5 back with him. They're coming back up tomorrow. I had the guy tagging 5. He's gonna take 5 back with him to rebuild. We probably still have another 10 down there that need with him. So he's gonna do those. He's gonna send me a parts list, what I should have, what we would need if it's able to be rebuilt. We'll have that list, the parts here available when he comes up for that training, that we can just put in the new parts and get us back on track there. So that's pretty much on that side. On the highway side, so we, as you know, we tried to put that loader out the bid. It didn't even come close to what we ended up at 86,000. So I did not deny the bid yet. I said I had to wait until the board meeting out of it. I think we should. We can either try and relist it in a few months. He said you can try a different auction place. Nothing moved this month, nothing sold, like things.
Put them on our loaders like cheap.
Yeah, everything was going cheap. No rhyme or reason. He actually called me tonight on my way here to the auction guy. So I thought for sure you'd be in the 150 range. I was hoping for 180, but we did sell there was a 0 turn on there that we had, an older one that did bring 2,300 or something. So I say we push that along. It's just been sitting here, so so I don't know what your pleasure is with the loaders. Keep it sit on it for now. I'll reach out to this other place. There's another place in Waterloo.
No, not.
No, I suggest not taking that loss. Even I had CAT come up and they even said that we should have got more than that for it. Even them as trading it in, they were over 100,000 trading in. So
I think we paid 207 a year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got 81 hours on it. We used it the other day for mixing, so it's crazy to take that loss. On the last truck we ordered, so Thursday we had a meeting. Sean's been on me about fire trucks because of the emissions change. Well, they canceled our order because International no longer makes the motor that was going in our truck. They made a new motor because the emissions changed. The sales guy says, do not buy the motor. Do not buy the truck with the motor in it. Not the first year out. He says, we've only had 2. There's no prototypes basically out there in the plowing situation. So either we hold on it, or he's gonna give me some new numbers with the other chassis where we can go back to a Cummins motor that's been out there for 20 years, so. I think that's what we do.
We even say we have a lot of international junk. You know, the motors. I would definitely say we would come with motors.
It is gonna be a pay or an increase, but it will be not as bad as an increase as what, 26 or 27. They're talking 40, you just said 40,000.
50 to 80 grand for the new emissions.
For the new emissions.
Yeah.
They're just pushing for election.
That's pretty good.
So I'll have those numbers, so we do have one truck that's sitting up to Harrisville, gonna get built. It's the one we ordered 2.5 years ago. We'll probably see it by fall sometime. That's what he sent me an email, but it's been sitting up there for 2 months now, or 3 months. Just their backlog. Other than that, we started some road work today. Got the Stowe Road pretty much ready to go. Everything else, some of the other towns are starting to work, so. I do have, I don't know if you wanna wait, I see it's on other business, we're gonna wait for the bid openings we did last month. I suggested we put everything out the bid in place.
Since you're doing your report, why don't we?
We do have the one thing, no,
Go ahead. I'll give you the, It's like this.
Well, there was only one bid. I did have one other contractor reach out, but after he said everything, it was, not, just wasn't gonna work in their time frame. So the one we did get was from Heidelberg, which was Hanson's out of Ogdensburg. So I proposed that we did basically the Atwood Road, which is 1.75 miles at 1,500 ton, 18 feet wide. The Stowe Road was 1,300 ton, 1.68 miles at 18 foot wide. Looks like they did a price per ton in place for $94.64. So today's price. So if we were to buy today, just for us basically to haul it and lay it down, is $76 a ton. So what's that? 76? Yeah. Well, it's $76 a ton. That's for us to haul it and pay somebody else to put it down. That's really. And she said for basically price per ton placed is $94.60.
We're gonna pay 76 just to buy it.
Just to buy it, and for $94.60 it'll be in place.
That's no brainer.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's no brainer whatsoever. Yeah. Nice supplier.
Yeah, the only thing we have to do is basically close the road for traffic control, because their papers big, everything will be one.
They do all the trucking, everything, you know, they don't truck it or
Yeah, not even thinking
Yeah.
about the.
First alert.
We're on the vehicle.
Yeah.
Say that it was so exciting.
Okay,
I'm all for that. I was- good stuff from there.
we need a motion.
Obviously.
I'll make that motion. We have a second,
Second.
roll call to accept the bid.
David,
Aye.
Gary, Sean,
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
and Frank.
Aye. Okay, thank you, Dean.
I do it one.
Oh.
I was just figuring this out. And I thought it was- So, yeah. So yeah, I was like, I had figured everything, I was thinking 114 a ton, because some of the numbers I had got quoted from some other guys, so I think at 94.60 is pretty good.
Now we give us enough money to.
Yeah, we had plenty of chips, because that was where the other thing was, so I did have some rollover in chips money from last year. Just with the fire, we didn't use it all up, So I would ask that we take there was like 60-ish thousand left on last year's rollover. And that would not affect this year's paving, and we paved the front and side of our parking lot at the new town barn. We can use CHIPS money, which would not be better idea. For that there. Everybody's in favor. What they do then? What's that? He said he'll see the time frame when he's here. If not, I talked to my other paper guy, and he would come. Yeah, he would come.
I'd put that in the form of a motion authorizing, use of last year's remaining CHIPS money to pave the area around the town barn.
Okay, did you get this motion first for the?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll second Chris's.
Roll call.
Dave,
Alright.
Gary,
I,
Sean.
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Frank,
Aye. Okay,
I'm done, thanks.
Thank you.
and a new welcome to the.
Big
Welcome
It's
to.
The grade was officially done this past Thursday, so I'm 2 days on my own, so it'll be nice to meet for today. But I know what happened.
It's not us, it's where you go over.
From what I pulled from the system for April, he had 19 permits. Construction cost values were 568,000 and permit fees were 2,977. The new junk law we got that back from the state, so we went out last week and took new pictures and sent out 12 notices. I signed those 51. I did those ones. So we'll wait and see on those. The 30-day clock has already started, so it's open. With that, if it goes to the point where we have to get it picked up, all the garbage, we'll have to put bids out, I'm assuming, to get
Yeah,
contractors.
you're in our discussion with Age, you were gonna reach out and see who.
Yeah,
what we had for it.
previously, I know Dave Witherhead has done it in the past, that's who we use in Potsdam, but apparently he doesn't wanna do it, anymore, so, we'll have to.
I actually, somebody had stopped, I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah,
It's very.
and some of these, I don't know if we'll get through all 12 of them, because some of them are pretty substantial, where that fund would get eaten up in a hurry.
We discussed that, we both discussed that today, and my.
So what if we don't, we're not able to, we don't, what happens then?
My suggestion,
Okay.
my suggestion is try to prioritize and do the high traffic areas first.
And, going through emails and stuff, from what I'm assuming, I'll reach out to Andy and get more updated on the Supreme Court stuff. But, it looks like there's a couple of these properties that are part of that Supreme Court stuff, so that might be something they'll order to have cleaned up, so we.
Yes,
You know,
go back on the taxes.
Right, we put that.
Immediately, yeah.
Right, so it might be a dual thing, coming up with those ones.
And I suspect if we do not have the funds to do it all, it would roll back over for another year.
Right. Yeah, so that's where that stands. Also, a parting gift, we got an email that the codes program that we use for permits, zoning, planning, fire inspections sunsets as of June 30th. And starting, if we don't renew it or update it, then July 1st, I lose the whole system. So I wouldn't be able to access any of that. So my thought is to try, I have a Zoom meeting with the company tomorrow morning. They're gonna run through the whole system, see what it takes to upgrade, see if I need everything still, if we can tweak it, and if we get the cost down. They did say the cost has gone up a little bit. From what I could pull from an email I found from January, that we have it's a 6-month contract, I'm assuming, and it's $578. So if I can get that for at least 6 months, Because right now, with only having a month, I wouldn't have time for a new company to implement everything, to completely change companies, so. So that's my thought at this point, is maybe at least get another 6-month extension. Yeah, cause, like, I know Oswegatchie, they had this Civic Gov that we use, and Rusty has changed to a new company. But it's just, they're just implementing right now, so he doesn't even have a final cost.
So you wanna use him for the guinea pig.
Yeah, exactly. So, like I said, there's a lot of, couple other programs that I can get cost comparisons on to, but, so that's where we stand with that, but that was just my,
We have to just go ahead with that, you got it right.
yeah, so,
Yeah, you don't need to deal with that right now, getting there.
yeah, I can't, we're gonna make it lose all that. But at least that'll give me at least 6 months to get maybe some more costs together and see where if we can change, and maybe just extend this for a year and then. So I can get used to everything and then.
Motion on
I don't know that.
I don't think we do right now, because this current contract is good until June, the end of June, so maybe next month, they might have to look at something else, but for right now, it's in place.
that. I think we definitely gotta go with it, and then
Oh,
we
yeah.
get 6 months.
Yeah, and that's what I said, I haven't gotten a chance to look through, even look at budget to see what, if anything was put in there for. Greg was, cause Greg didn't wanna keep this system, he said that, he would wanna get rid of it. But if we're gonna lose everything, then I think at least it would keep it for 6 more months, so.
I was just looking at the budget, and there's adequate money to handle that kind of expense.
Right, yeah, and typically, I know the IPS program, I think they had that in place here before. That typically runs about 3,000 a year, so that might be high end for a new system. But this cloud permit that Rusty's using now for over in Oswegatchie, that he said might be a little bit more for the first year, just for implementing, to get everything switched over, but they're around the same prices.
Okay.
But right now, that's all.
That's enough. Thank you, Lisa. And, yeah, you will get kind of the highway because.
Lisa, I assume you got Greg's old number?
Yes, yeah,
Even though the better you should need to see. H should be coming before H.
so, yeah, Greg, I know had switched, he was saying that he got a new phone for the first time in how many years, but he had a lot of nicknames in his phone, so I read it.
I didn't say that.
It's like, oh,
I see that, let me call that phone for a second, I want to see what it said.
I know you're.
I'm sure.
Talk to her a little loud.
In the office, we had a nickname for him because he came down the stairs and we started calling him Bumper.
I was only with him for 2 weeks and I had nicknames for him.
Thank you, Lisa. You all should have a written report for the town assessor, the town historian, and the dog control officer for you to review.
Can I just make mention of the dog control?
Yeah.
Okay, so last month, it was the shelter inspection. It was unsatisfactory. But this, you'll notice that was in the minutes, but it is now satisfactory. And everything has been brought up. There was some rust found on one of the kennels. There was something to do with some ventilation. It was minor things, but they usually have to find something. I just wanted to make mention of that.
Now we'll move on to other business, and I'm going to give Deb Kenner the floor on this, and we'll see in your packet. Communications graph.
Yeah. We have this.
Hi. As I've been doing the work with Jill, it's become, something has really become sort of obvious, but it's one of those things that sort of evolved. But it's that there is a lot of work that I'm asked to do that is sort of beyond the scope of work of the clerk of court's office. And it became really apparent last week when I learned with Anne Marie was in the office with Frank, learned that the comprehensive plan meeting on the 16th this week has a public component, and that they really want to have the voices of the public. It isn't just the people who have the book and who are on the committee, but we really want the voices of the public. And so then it's get the word out. So that falls to me to do, and there's a lot that I do to get the word out. So I want to explain it to you and so that you can see what things are happening. We're doing more to communicate with the public than we ever have. This month alone, we have an event to honor Ron Wright. We're putting in the plaque at the marina, at the bay, the boat launch. And we're making sure that the public knows that everyone is invited to that. We're having the community meeting, as I said, to update the comprehensive plan. We have this board meeting, and then, Board of Appeals session and open job position. Those are things that I'm communicating about. And so now second page, this one, it's kind of green, it's got the website. So the announcements are posted on our website's homepage. So if you go to our homepage, you see those announcements, and now it's easy to find them, easy to spot, easy to get the information that you need. They're also posted on a community calendar that we have in the community section on our website. And then special ones are featured events, and that's a rotating thing. And we have not only our events on that website, but other events in our community. So things from the Gateway Museum and from the Black Lake Fishing Game. And I look on their website, and the fire department in Morristown and Briar Hill, and the library and Morristown Promotions, but they don't have anything right now. So we also post on Facebook asking friends for more, but we don't promote on Facebook directly because we don't have a page. We ask the Gateway Museum or the library and Morristown Promotions if they will please share this, and then we, as friends, share it. So we also have posters and flyers, and these are placed around town at all of our restaurants and at the library and at the post office and at Builder's Supply. So we do that and go around physically and put those up. And then in some cases, we send notices to the newspaper for people to attend. We put things in the St. Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce calendar, and each posting, takes time, but it also takes design, and you have to think through what information needs to be where and that kind of thing. And we've also learned, this is this page, that there's public engagement, that the fact that we engage the public is important to attract and win state and federal grants. So I'd like to turn to Anne Marie. You've been working on those grants, right?
That's what all of the advisory council is about, is to get people to come out and join the conversation before decisions are made. And every single grant that we write wants to see evidence of public engagement. We've had minimal, for the few grants that I've done, we've had minimal involvement. But I think the more the word gets out there, the better off we will be in terms of writing grants and being successful.
And then there's also the opportunity to really promote the town, all three segments of our town and our beautiful waterways, top 10 lists, of the top 10, towns in New York State to visit, the top 10 most, attractive waterways, that kind of thing. Best places to fish. I know there's a lot that's being done, but there's always more because there are more publications all of the time. So what I should be doing for the clerk's office is putting up, posting new junk laws, talking about the alert system, doing the summer rec things, making sure that people vote when there's an election coming up. That's what's required by the town clerk, but this is sort of beyond that. So what
Can I
is,
just jump in?
yes,
I made the observation today that from 10 years ago, what was asked of the town clerk and what we're asking now is beyond the scope of what their job, what is required of their job. Okay, that's all I want to say.
Yeah, it's just beyond that. So what I'm proposing that we expand the communications role that I already have and already do up to 8 hours a week at $30 an hour. And that for this function, I wouldn't report to Jill because it's beyond she's not the one, it's Frank. So it'd be under the town.
And this is maximum, it's not,
Up to,
there'll be weeks of nothing.
right. Maybe not nothing,
Well,
but a little.
You pretty much run the website, you do all this?
Yeah. I do all that, yeah. Every thing on it.
No. No.
it's tough.
We gotta get the public, voice out there, yeah. I think we've been lacking that, definitely.
So, it'll still fall on the arm of her duties. Just so you know that that's how we're handling it. As your deputy clerk. But it's taking it off and what we might ask Jill to do if she if she had time.
Yeah.
So, okay, I just wanted you to understand how we're handling.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Is it, there is no Facebook page, is that something that you've ever considered, or is?
Yeah, well, now we can.
Okay, I just didn't know whether it needed to be authorized.
If
Is that
it's,
okay?
if this is approved and if we can, then we will,
So-
now we'll be able to.
Forget where it was run into a problem, because there's only one administrator. Say if something happened, you left and. Is there a way to put two administrators?
Oh, yes.
You can always
Oh.
find additional administrators to any type of group like that.
Right, yeah.
That would work, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
I can,
for
yeah.
somebody else's page.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right, thanks.
And that includes
Thank you.
Instagram too, right?
So,
Yeah, no, Instagram.
if there's no other business,
How are we doing on that Civic Ready? Was there a lot of people that signed up for that?
I think the last time we checked, there was like 97,
Yeah,
You think we did, that's a great thing,
but
it's
but
just not getting out there
the
yet.
other thing is we have a lot of people that are just coming back. And so as they come in the office, we're
So is
trying,
that something you could put out, like when the meetings are, I haven't got nothing on, I've never got anything on.
Right, that's.
well, it's basically an emergency or something like that. I mean, our public meeting,
Okay,
like tonight's meeting is it's always the same.
Yeah,
maybe a special
But
meeting or
it's-
something, or,
yeah, the special meetings we can do, and for
The
sure we'll do
public
the road
hearing.
closings.
right,
yeah.
I'm excited.
yeah. No, that's what I was wondering about.
We
it.
can use our system.
Like I talked to a few people out in the town and they're like, well, they didn't hear anything about it because they're not on the water, there's.
Yeah.
The Facebook thing.
Yeah,
I kept
but-
thinking before I know if there was a Facebook thing, that's when we had that.
Definitely, you gotta have it.
I think that sees more than anybody.
let me
Yeah,
ask this
good.
question.
We might be
So
able
those
to.
closings, would you be able to, the night of the concert?
Yes.
Boom, it'll be there.
Right.
There.
It is actually closed.
Yeah, roads will
But
be
the
closed.
problem is, this is the catch with being so far behind with that, is if we don't have 250 people on the list and we have 100, you're not reaching everybody.
Right.
And then they drive in and go, why the hell is the road? closed?" And they live here.
You'll have somebody stand there with one of the blockers.
But that's why I had suggested, when I wanted this system first in place for years, if you can get everybody on it, if everybody really cares about Morristown, you have the ability to use that to pass all that information where they go. You don't want to clutter people with email notification after notification, but if you care that much, I would want to be at this meeting, so I should get the notification there. I want to know that you're putting on something that we don't know about, like I just saw something on for Thursday
Mhm.
that
That's
And
it.
the Hampshire account.
Yeah.
I had no idea what's
No,
just,
I don't think people would complain about it, I don't think.
but they have to sign up for it, that's the
Right.
catch, we gotta get everybody to want to
I
sign up.
just didn't know if there was more of a way we could
Sure.
push it
Good.
forward, but.
All right,
We'll
work on it.
our Facebook page.
Right.
yeah, we'll work on it.
Yeah, but then people don't have Facebook.
You know, sure, come on, Dave, you don't have.
No
See, I
way.
don't have to do this. They just know like.
Yeah, Sharon, you wanna go door to door for us for that?
Sure.
Maybe
Um,
election time.
To increase our
put
hours.
Stuff out like that, with election. Can you put it adver-
I don't know.
They need
What
to
is
really-
it?
I know.
Okay, I don't know where they have to-
When you can let Anthony, could you hand it out?
There should be. With my own.
Yeah, but it's, yeah. but it's
Yeah.
not- but now it is-
Right, I just didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay,
There should be a
So-
motion. Want it on the book.
Motion
Yes.
to adjourn?
No, but you need a motion to accept this for them.
Okay, sorry.
Who made the motion?
Sean. Seconded by,
Who made this?
Sure.
How many?
Davey.
Okay.
So who seconded it? Chris,
Roll call.
David,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
Sean, Chris, and Frank.
Yes. Now, motion to adjourn.
Second.
Meeting's adjourned.
That's easy.
No, when can I sign up for a greater day?
Thank you, one and all.
Jim is in the office on Mondays, 9 to 3.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Download the form.
I already got it. So.
Yeah. Why?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost have to get on.
Yeah.